Join me as I dive deep into the question, is North Korea really a democracy? I'm going to explore the facts and myths to find out. North Korea's political system is often met with skepticism and intrigue, and for good reason. On one hand, the country claims to be a democratic state, where the people hold supreme power. But on the other hand, it's hard to ignore the overwhelming evidence of authoritarian practices and human rights violations. So, what's really going on here? In theory, North Korea's constitution guarantees its citizens the right to vote, freedom of speech, and assembly. But in reality, these freedoms are severely restricted, and any form of dissent is brutally crushed. It's a paradox that's both fascinating and terrifying at the same time. So, is North Korea just paying lip service to democracy, or is there more to it than meets the eye? As we delve deeper into the country's political system, it becomes clear that the truth lies somewhere in between. North Korea's political system is often described as a highly centralized, one-party state, where the ruling Workers' Party of Korea holds absolute power. The country's leader, currently Kim Jong-un, serves as the supreme leader, and his word is essentially law. But here's the thing, North Korea does hold elections, or at least, what passes for elections in their political system. The country's rubber-stamped parliament, the Supreme People's Assembly, is composed of deputies who are elected by the people. Or so they claim. In reality, these elections are little more than a farce, with candidates handpicked by the ruling party, and voters given no real choice. It's a system designed to maintain the status quo, rather than provide any meaningful representation for the people. The Workers' Party of Korea is the dominant force in North Korean politics, and its role is enshrined in the country's constitution. The party is responsible for setting the country's policy agenda, and its leaders hold the top positions in government. But what about the people? Don't they have a say in how their country is run? In theory, the Democratic Front for the Reunification of the Fatherland is supposed to be a broad-based coalition of political parties and social organizations that represents the people's interests. In reality, it's little more than a tool for the ruling party to exercise control over the population. The North Korean government also claims to have an independent judiciary, but in reality, the courts are little more than a tool for the ruling party to crush dissent and opposition. The country's laws are often vague and open to interpretation, allowing the authorities to arrest and punish anyone deemed a threat to the regime. Despite the facade of democracy, North Korea's political system is fundamentally different from recognized democracies around the world. In a real democracy, power is distributed among different branches of government, and citizens have genuine freedom to express themselves and participate in the political process. In North Korea, however, power is concentrated in the hands of a few individuals, and any form of dissent or opposition is ruthlessly suppressed. The country's citizens live in a climate of fear, where criticism of the government or the ruling party can lead to imprisonment, torture, and even death. So, what does it mean to be a democracy? Is it just a matter of holding elections, or is it something more substantial? The answer, of course, lies somewhere in between. While North Korea holds elections, the absence of genuine political freedom and competition raises serious questions about its democratic status. It's a system that's designed to maintain the power of the ruling elite, rather than provide meaningful representation for the people. So, what do you think? Is North Korea a democracy in any meaningful sense of the word? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our other video on political systems around the world.